Hey there, beautiful bride. I'm Jillian Rosich Kendrick, founder of My Best Wedding and MyWeddingPlanningCourse.com. Welcome to this episode of Wedding Wednesday, where every Wednesday, right here on Facebook Live, we do a live video stream just talking about different subjects on wedding planning. And this is an opportunity for you to come here and ask any questions that you have on wedding planning, really dive into the wedding planning process. So comment below with any wedding planning questions that you have, and I would love to hear from you and just see how your wedding planning is going. And tonight, real quick though, I actually have like a little notification on the bottom of the page that says, congrats, this is your 50th broadcast. So ladies, that means that we are only 2 weeks away from 1 year, the 1 year anniversary of doing these Wedding Wednesdays, the 1 year anniversary of the My Best Wedding Facebook page, and I could not be more excited that we're bringing all of this amazing wedding planning information to you. So comment below with your questions, or if you just want to say hi, I'd love to hear from you, or if you have any wedding planning questions, let me know. So today we really are talking about what kind of disasters can you hit when it comes to planning a destination wedding. So there's the obvious, there's this really dreamy sort of feeling that you get when it comes to having a destination wedding, and you get to go out of town, it's somewhere romantic, maybe somewhere exotic, and you're looking forward to it. But destination weddings can come at a very serious cost, and sometimes those costs aren't necessarily all monetary. Point in fact, an example of this, would be a friend of mine recently actually had a destination wedding, and her grandmother wasn't able to come to her wedding because grandma was really old, she's very sick, and she wasn't able to fly to another country. So therefore, she wasn't able to attend her own granddaughter's wedding at all. And if you're really close to your grandparents and them being there is really important and meaningful for you, then definitely consider, having a local wedding, or maybe having like a ceremony and then a reception somewhere else. Another really good thing to remember, I made a list, is that you have to take everything with you, right? Other than whatever your venue is going to provide, be it some decorations or food or maybe the DJ or whatever, you have to provide everything else. Any decorations you want to bring, all of your luggage, all of your honeymoon luggage, all of your decoration luggage, all of your travel luggage, all of your makeup, all of your this, all of your that. You have to take your wedding dress with you, you have to take your shoes, you have to take your glam bag, you have to take all of that with you. And not to say that you don't have to take that to a wedding, even if you had a wedding right down the road, because you do. But it's going to be a lot harder, right, when you do it in a destination, when you do it for a destination wedding, because you're going to end up bringing like 5 or 6 suitcases with you on this destination wedding, just packed full of things that you need. Because most destination wedding locations, there is no convenience store, right? There's no Walgreens or CVS to run into and grab something really quick. Like at most, you'd be lucky if you find like some aloe vera if you get sunburnt or something like that. So just keep in mind that whatever you need for your wedding, you better bring it with you, or you're basically not going to have it. Anyone joining us right now, welcome to Wedding Wednesday, and feel free to comment below and ask any questions that you have on wedding planning, or any help that you need, any advice that you need. I'm here for you. And we are talking about how to deal with destination weddings. Something else that was like a big shocker that a girlfriend of mine and I were talking about, and honestly I didn't even think about until she said it. If you have a destination wedding that say is like outside of the country, you can't bring your bouquet back with you, because bouquets, unless it's made of brooches or made of, you know, fake flowers or something like that, bouquets traditionally are going to be made with fresh flowers, and fresh flowers obviously is organic matter. You can't bring that on an airplane and transfer it between country lines, between borders. You can't bring your bouquet back with you. And that, like, I didn't even think about that. It didn't even cross my mind until she said it, and I was like, oh my gosh, you're absolutely right. Like, you can't, like, sometimes in certain countries, and every country is different, all of their rules are different, you have to look it up based on, you know, where you're getting married in, but most countries won't let you bring fruit, right? Or like, you can have fruit, but you have to eat it on the airplane. You can't, like, take it off the airplane into another country with you. And the same thing goes with flowers and other organic matter and other organic material. You can't bring your bouquet home with you, and that's insane. So it's definitely something else to think about if you're considering planning a destination wedding. Something else, you pretty much have to bring your photographer with you. And in fact, this isn't a negative, this is a positive, because planning a destination wedding, so you're pretty much going to get there like a week before the wedding so that you can go over everything, plan everything, go through like last minute details, run over your banquet order and do all of that. And this is like a whole process, right? So you could even bring your photographer with you during that week of prep and just have them photograph everything for you. It's pretty cool. Again, anyone who has questions, go ahead and write it in the comments, and I'd love to hear from you. Let's see what else. There's always the possibility of you getting sick. So in a lot of countries, a lot of gorgeous, amazing countries, it's really unfortunate that their water sources are not potable, meaning they're not drinkable. You can't put a glass underneath the tap in the sink or in the kitchen and get potable, drinkable water. So if you do that and you get sick, you're stuck in another country, or you have to go to like a clinic, a walk-in clinic, you have to go to the ER in another country, God forbid, it's going to cost you a lot of money, and you don't want to be sick before your wedding. Not to say that it won't happen, because most destination places, most destination locations or resorts that are in a country whose water is not potable, they're usually really, really careful about like giving you bottled water and like washing salads and washing fruit and other foods with bottled water rather than just sink water, because you are how they do business, right? Like, your money, you paying for your wedding, is how they maintain their business. And if you have a bad experience, you go home and tell your friends, like, don't go to this resort, I got sick, that reflects very poorly on them, and enough of those is going to put them out of business. So they're very, very careful to make sure that you don't get sick, but the risk is always, always there. So don't forget that. What else? How do I explain this one? Let's see. So in the United States, we have the amazing fortune and luxury of living in a country where people with accessibility needs or people with handicaps can go to public places and there's a ramp, or there is one of those like wheelchair lift sort of things. Other countries, unfortunately, don't have that luxury a lot of times. So you could end up finding an amazing, gorgeous resort, and you have to walk up and down, 3 or 4 or 5 or 10 flights of stairs every single day, which, hey, you want to get your exercise in, you want to look good for your wedding, do it. But just know that, other countries really don't have it quite as good as we do. They don't have a lot of elevators. They don't have accessibility ramps. They don't have wheelchair lifts. They don't have that sort of stuff. And so if you are planning on inviting someone who has accessibility needs, or again, you're planning on inviting grandma to your destination wedding, and grandma has to walk up and down 10 flights of stairs to get from her hotel room to the lobby, that's gonna be a huge, huge problem. So just keep that in mind, especially when you're looking for destination wedding resorts, that just know that it's an issue, and be conscious of it, and be ready and prepared to ask those questions when the time comes, and when you're checking out resorts. What else do we have? Get sick, walk upstairs, can't bring your bouquet. Oh, I think I touched on this a little bit, but anything last minute will not happen. It's not going to happen for you. So for instance, like the morning of my wedding, prior to the wedding, I had made this gorgeous, like foam wreath. I had taken this foam wreath and I had pinned a bunch of like felt flowers to it, and I made this really beautiful wreath, and I wanted to hang it on the front door, but I didn't make a plan for how to hang it on the front door. So I ended up giving the wreath to a family friend of ours and just said, can you go to like the hardware store, or can you go to like a Walgreens or somewhere and get some string or some rope or like a door hang or just something that we can hang the wreath on. And that was an absolutely last minute, like I totally forgot about it sort of thing. When you're at a destination wedding and you are at the resort, that kind of stuff isn't going to happen. Last minute is not going to be an option for you because, again, so many countries, and I'm not saying all countries, right? I don't want to give the impression that like this is a bad idea or that this is a bad thing at all, but you can't run to a Walgreens at the last minute. You really have to be well organized, really, really well prepared. And if that's you and you're that kind of type A, then this might be perfect for you. But if you're a little bit more relaxed, or you want to have that relaxed sort of wedding experience, it might actually not be a good idea. So just remember that, and keep that in mind, that you really have to plan well ahead in advance to execute your dream and make everything happen that you want. So there's no convenience stores, no last minute. There's lots and lots of traveling. And hopefully if you're thinking about a destination wedding, you like traveling, because if you're not a fan of travel, then this, again, just might not be for you, and that's okay. Also consider, how will your guests feel in another country? Having your wedding in another country might be considered kind of off-putting for some people, so be prepared for no's. Be prepared for friends of yours who have kids who probably couldn't afford, to buy 5 or 6 or 7 plane tickets. Be prepared for them to say no, and be okay with that. And if a destination wedding is your dream, don't let their no's deter you from what it is that you want and the dream that you have, and fulfilling that dream of getting married to your best friend, on the side of a mountain or in front of your favorite beach. If that's what you want, then do it. But just know that there's going to be plenty of people that won't be able to accommodate being a part of that, unfortunately. What else? Oh, and last but not least, and again, anyone who has questions, go ahead and type it in. For the last couple of Facebook Lives, people have commented and I haven't seen them, so I'm not seeing anything right now. And so if you've commented, I'm so sorry. Facebook Live just doesn't want to work for me in comments the last couple of weeks, but I will be sure and check everything after this live is over, and if you have any questions, I'll respond to it then. So I apologize. Last but certainly not least, when you go into another country, depending on your cell phone plan, you know, you may or may not want to consider getting an out of country, you know, temporary, like just for the month kind of plan, phone plan extension. Or I think AT&T now is running a thing where like roaming through Canada and Mexico is part of their regular phone service. So maybe you can get away with something like that if you have that kind of phone plan. But you might want to add like a South American, you might want to even just buy a South American, you know, a SIM card in another country and plug it into your phone for a week. Or you know, get a phone and then sell it at the end of your trip or something. Or like I said, add additional plans, roaming plans, text message plans, data plans to your cell phone plan, your regular plan, because you're gonna need to make phone calls, contact people, work on logistics, and like basically get shit done when you're planning when you're planning a destination wedding. And when you're out in these countries, you're gonna get tons of crazy roaming charges if you're not prepared with the proper phone plan to make everything happen that that you need. So that is my list for planning a destination wedding, things to look out for, things to be aware of. Speaking of things to be aware of and to look forward to, I'm so excited to announce that I believe the 29th of this month, which is only like 12 days away, it's literally like 2 weeks from now, and I'm like, if I could do backflips, I would be doing that right now. But I'm so excited to say that the myweddingplanningcourse.com memberships for access to a ton of training material and PDFs to help you plan the wedding of your dreams. We've created a silver, gold, and platinum, I can't talk today, silver, gold, and platinum level membership. And I am so thrilled to say that it is going to come out on the 1-year anniversary of this page and the 1-year anniversary of our website. And this has just been such a labor of love and an incredible journey to be a part of your wedding planning experience for the last year. And truly, from the bottom of my heart, I just want to say thank you so much for your messages, your emails, your comments, your questions, all of your likes, all of your shares. All of this helps me to know how to serve you better, and it helps me to understand what it is that you need, so that I can give you the information that you're looking for. Speaking of which, if there are any topics that you would like us to cover on Wedding Wednesday that you haven't heard so far, please comment below and let me know what topic it is that you would like to hear on next week's Wedding Wednesday. I'm very excited about that. Speaking of next week as well, so guys, like so much is going on. I feel like I'm planning my wedding all over again. Next week, I will be coming to you live from San Francisco. So any San Fran gals out there, I've been told not to call it Frisco. I've actually been told not to call it San Fran either, so I apologize. But any San Francisco gals out there, go ahead and give me a shout out, and I'd love to hear from you. But I will be coming to you live next week from San Francisco. My hubby and I are taking a little trip. And yeah, if you need anything at all, or comment below and let us know what topics you would like to hear for upcoming Facebook Lives. And I will see you next week. And don't forget to check out myweddingplanningcourse.com to take the quiz, look at the membership sites. We post our blog every other day. It's awesome. So I'll see you guys next week. Bye.